Hi everyone, it's Tammy at the Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back. Today we're going to do this week's episode of Nothing But Neutrals. If you're new to the channel, on Tuesdays I do a Nothing But Neutrals make, which is a weekly challenge where I have picked a base to use for the particular week, and you're to make a piece of ephemera using just neutral colors for your make. So this week the base is an index card, and you can use any kind of index card that you'd like to. The 3.5 by 5, the 4 by 6, or if you don't have any index cards, you can cut a piece of cardstock to one of those two measurements, and that would be sufficient for the make. I have these old index cards that were used for payroll. They're from the 1940s. This particular one does not have any payroll. It's got the people listed, but no checks listed. But I do have several, like here is one, where it has a record of their payments, and you can see they're from the 1940s. So that is what I'm going to use for my base. And I think I'm going to use 1.5 of one, or little less than a half, because I think I'm going to put a pocket on here. But to start with, we're going to start with this, and we're going to do a little collaging on it to get kind of a background thing going. So I pulled out a few pieces of ephemera to use, and I am making this to go in the flea market journal that I've been working on. And the first thing that I have is a tea bag, and this is a tea bag where you put your loose tea in there, or your tea in there, and then steep it. So they come empty, and I got these I'm pretty sure that I got them from Amazon, but they're just natural fillable tea bags, is I believe what they're called. But I'm going to use that and lay that down first to kind of cover up the lines and the wording a little bit, but I still want them to show, because I want you to be able to tell a little bit that it is a, the original piece of ephemera. So I'm going to put some glue stick down on my card, and we're going to start with that and then go from there. So how is everyone? I hope you've had a good start to your week. Another hot one here today, although the humidity today is not near as bad as it was yesterday. Yesterday it was awful. I got up at like 6:30 yesterday morning and went out onto my back screened-in porch, and it was already like, it was 75 degrees at 6:30 in the morning. The feels like was already 80, and the humidity was 90%. So it was like, in the words of my husband, a soup sandwich outside. It was pretty miserable. But today, the humidity is much lower, and so it's not near as, even though the temperature's higher, because we're in like the 90s today, it feels much better than it did yesterday because the humidity has dropped. If if you live in an area that has high humidity, you know what I'm talking about. It's just gross. That's the only word you can use for it. It's just, yeah. Alright. So, I'm just putting this down with glue stick. It doesn't need to have like a decoupage anything on it, I don't think. Okay. So, and I'm not worried about this part over here because it's going to be covered anyway. And you can still see everything through there, but it just gives it a nice feel, for one, and two, it kind of knocks back that print without making it totally go away. Okay. The second thing that I have is I have some French English dictionary, and I'm going to kind of put a piece of this on here, and I intentionally got the part that has the word market on it. It says market, marketplace, things like that. And I'm going to put it, I think, about right there. And there won't be a lot of this showing when I'm done. But that's usually the case with collage. You just get little glimpses and pieces of different things. So let's put this on here. And then, what do I have? I have some music paper. And I'm going to put that I think right up in this corner. Get my corners good. Okay. And then for my focal point, I'm going to use this digital, and I'm going to tear it down a little bit. I'm going to take this name off the bottom. This is from the digital that I'm using for the journal, and it is by SweetPeaCuriosities, and I believe it's called either Flea Market or French Flea Market. I can't remember which, but if you go to her store on Etsy, you will see it. I want to see that word market there, so I think I'm gonna tear it about right there. I am going to ink around this particular photo since it's our focal point. I want it about right there. Notice I left the name over here. Alright, and then I have these little, these are like faux tea-dyed little torn pieces of paper that are stickers. And I think I'm gonna put it down here at the bottom. Just because I have these and I need to always forget to use them, and they are quite cool. I mean, they're just little stickers. And then I made a little cluster with some black and white ticking and some thread and a little bit of lace scrap. I'm going to put that kind of right on that corner. And then I have this little digital number. And I want it to kind of hang like it's a little tag. So I'm just going to ink it up. And then when I glue it down, I'm just going to glue this one end so it looks like it's hanging like a tag, and kind of tuck it up under here. Alright, now I'm going to ink around the whole piece. I was trying to decide if I wanted to round the corners. I don't know. Okay, now for the back side, and obviously if I'm going to do something on the back side, I'm going to either make this something that flips out on the page, or I'm going to just clip it on the page so that you can flip it over. Okay, on this side is where I'm going to take the half one, and I'm going to glue it right down here on the bottom. Let's put a little thumb notch in it. Do I want it to go that way, or do I want it to go this way? It doesn't matter, because either way, I should have paid attention, because either way it's going to be upside down because of where I put the thumb notch. So okay, so there's our pocket on the back side. And I have a picture. This is also from the kit. Do I want it here or do I want to trim it down and put it here? I think I'll trim it down and put it on the bottom. I'm gonna go right above their heads. It's gonna be yep, that'll work. I don't know if I can get the thumb notch in the same spot. We're gonna get close, I hope. That's pretty good, so I can trim that one edge off. All right, so I'm gonna put this on here. I should have done it before I glued all that other stuff down, but you know, I didn't. Clean up some of my mess here. Should have inked around that too. Shoulda, shoulda, shoulda. It's a good way to get your fingers all sticky. I didn't do it ahead of time. Oh, I don't have to trim that. Oh, maybe a little over on this side. Okay, and then I've got some other little pieces here that I might want to put in here. These are tailor-made, no, Sampool. No. Both those sound wrong. I'm not sure. I'll have to look them up and put them in the description box. I'll put those down in there. And then I need to decide whether I want to include some of these flowers. And the reason I say that is because the page that I'm going to use them on in the journal, or use this on, is this one. So I can either make a flip so that it flips out, or I can just clip it to the page. I think for the time being, I'm just gonna clip it on there. And what I might do, I don't want to do that because we're not gluing it down. Do I want it on this page? I think I want it on this page. And I think I'll clip it from the bottom. Let me see. Just put a tiny, oops, I picked up more than one tiny paper clip down here. And then I really do want to, maybe on this side I'll do the flowers to kind of tie them in. I don't want to cover her face, obviously. Maybe I'll make a little tag. Sorry if I'm too low, let me scoot up. Maybe I'll make a little tag to stick right there. So if I just double this over, I think that's what I'll do. So if I double that over and glue it, cut a little bit off the bottom. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, so I'm gonna get my little angle cutter here. Cut it on the small angle. And then get my crocodile and put the small hole in it. paint around it. And then, can I get that through there? It's just a little piece of scrappy lace. I may not be able to get it through there. I did. I don't want to rip it. It's not a real sturdy little tag, and that doesn't really matter. I just don't want to rip my hole. And I'm gonna use my tiny attacher. See if I can staple that. And then that can stick right in that little paper clip. Yeah. Now the only other question is, do I want to use this little tab up at the top? Or on the side? Or do I just want to leave it? I think I'll just leave it. Alright, so there we go. That was a fairly easy make, and really like this too. It says Paris Flower Market. I'm going to tear that down just a little bit. Maybe we'll save that and put it on the page. I'll put it over here. Yeah. I would like something right across there, though, to kind of break that up, that straight line up a little bit. Ooh, maybe we'll use a piece of the vintage tape. There we go, much better. Yep, I like that much better. All right, so that is that done. So yeah, I like that. We'll have to see if that little bitty paper clip's gonna hold that. We may have to put a bigger one in. And the bigger one would also help with this. I think I have a rusty one. Maybe that's what we need. We can try that. Oh, maybe I don't. Yeah, I do. Let's take this little one off. Put a bigger one. I may have to put another piece on the back of that to sturdy it up a little bit more. But for now, I'm going to leave it. Ink this a little bit. It's a little too white. All right, so there we go. There is a index card base. And again, the hashtag, if you post to social media, either YouTube or Instagram or however you share your post, if you will use the hashtag nothing but neutrals, then I can find your post and so can other people that are participating in the challenge to see your beautiful work. And thanks everybody for joining in. And normally this would be the time that I would give you next week's prompt, but I didn't write it down, and the prompts are on my phone in my notes. And so I film with my phone, and so I cannot tell you what it is in the video, but I will list it in the description box so you can be finding your base for next week. So again, this is week 7, I believe. And I do have a playlist on my channel that has all the previous weeks. If you want to go back and start at the beginning, you, of course, do not have to. You can jump in right now if you want to. Or if you want to do this challenge, but you're in the middle of something else, don't worry about it. Just go back when you can and start and, you know, do the ones that you want to do. You don't have to do every week if you don't want to. I just appreciate all of you participating, and I hope you're enjoying it as well. And so I will be back tomorrow for No Digitals Allowed. And until then, I hope everybody has a great evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.